Hello and welcome back to everyone. Respect and another edition of Smackdown Out of 10. And yeah, big episode of Smackdown. Today we've got some big matches on the card, including Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn versus Jacob Fatu in a massive Elimination Chamber qualifier, and a few other qualifiers. And yeah, we've got a women's title match on the card as well, so a lot going on. But after the usual shots of people arriving, Tiffany Stratton made her way to the ring for a promo to kick off the show. She spoke about losing the world title before being put on a path back to winning it thanks to qualifying for the chamber. Jax and Legend came out to talk some trash and threatened Tiffy, but Ripley and Sky came out before they had a chance. This led right into the women's match, so Stratton made a quiet exit once Rio was in the ring. Stratton made a good following, but Jay's as a babyface, certain things she seem more suited to as a heel. She was good as an antagonist in NXT, and I think she should kind of play that role on the main roster. Her promo was short and everything that followed was cookie cutter stuff, but getting right into the first match without long was a nice change of pace. So let's get straight into it. And Sky and Jax started for the team. The genius Sky used her speed to neutralise Jax's power advantage before bringing Ripley in for a double team spot. Once the heels had Sky cornered, they took control and tried to keep her grounded. Sky was giving up a lot of size to both competitors, so she felt like an even bigger underdog. It's hard to say exactly what it was, but it felt like this match was missing something that would have made it more exciting. The champs never felt like they were in danger of losing the titles. The ref ended up calling for the bell when everyone was fighting at ringside. Sadly, the most exciting part of what happened was when it was all over. The brawl afterwards between all four women was the most entertaining part of the match, really. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. As we then moved on to Carmelo Hayes, who was shown telling Matt Cardona and Apollo Crews that the Open Challenge was closed this week, and after the break he made his way to the ring. He announced that he would be in Elimination Chamber qualifier next week because he's aiming for the WrestleMania, and called out Ilya Dragunov to get his title shot. Before the match could start, Solo Sikoa and the MFTs came out. They ended up attacking Hayes and Dragunov, Cardona and Crews and Nakamura. That led to a massive 10-man tag match, and the match was already taking place. What followed was exactly what you would expect. Each competitor took turns in the ring. Never felt like anyone was out for too long. While the match was relatively predictable in terms of how it played out, it's also fun, sprinkling great spots in, and seeing Hayes and Dragunov on the same side was insane. Tama Tonga was able to score the win, which could put him in line for a title shot. The White Six appeared in the crowd, but there's no altercation. Pretty predictable stuff, but I think intriguing. 6 out of 10. As we then moved on to Alexa Bliss versus Julia versus Zelina, Charlotte Flair accompanied Bliss to the ring, and Julia had Kiana James by her side. These are three talented competitors, so they don't waste any time kicking things into high gear. It didn't feel like any of them were a lock to win either, so it helped make the outcome a little more unpredictable. James and Flair didn't have much of an impact on most of the match, but it ended with a pretty clean finish when Bliss hit Vega with her sister Abigail for the win. Considering there are no DQs in this match, it was shocking WWE resisted writing more interference into this. So yeah, intriguing stuff. I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. Moving on into Zayn backstage. Phoenix was talking to him, and then he was in the ring against Trick Williams. Trick Willie gave a quick promo before Phoenix came out. Williams had the upper hand at first, but the High Flyer eventually found a way to counter him and get some offense in, including a springboard dropkick that got him a 2. While they fought for a break into the next segment, Phoenix was in control when we returned, but one backhand from Williams put him on the mat. These two worked well together to put a decent match. There wasn't some big feud behind it, so it was nice to get about that. Felt like it was just two guys trying to prove who was behind the deeper conflict behind it. The second half was a lot more exciting than the first. Phoenix put up a good fight, but Williams took him down with a trick shot for the win. I'll give it 6 out of 10. As we then moved on to Cargill versus Jordan Grace for the title. Before the match could get going, the Judgment Day came out to watch from ringside. The crowd chanted for Dom as the match began, with Cargill pushing Grace to the corner. Both women have a lot of power, but Jade had the height advantage, so she had a bit more leverage. Cargill had things that she needs to work on, but Grace did a good job masking it. There wasn't pretty, but it had some highlights. Grace looked good, especially with some of her strength. Judgment Day didn't end up having an impact on the match, and Cargill got a pretty predictable clean win with the Jaded. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. We then got Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn versus Jacob Fatu for one of the spots in the chamber. All three shared their thoughts on the bout during the show leading up to it. Fatu and Rhodes had a personal rivalry, so they tried to take out Zayn early so they could fight, but Zayn hit both men with a huge dive as the show went to break. They had more than 20 minutes from this match, so they had no problem taking this fun while still taking the time to sell the bigger spots. They usually have one person sitting out while the other two fought and would take turns, but they also have moments where all three would be fighting. As it looked like Fatu was going to win, Drew McIntyre came out and they would hit a Claymore and take him out. He also hit Rhodes with one and then put Zayn on top of him win, but the American Nightmare kicked out right after Zayn took out McIntyre with a lever kick. Rhodes hit the crossroads for the win. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think probably the right result, and then intriguing drew there too. And overall this week, SmackDown gets a 5 out of 10. This was kind of about building towards Elimination Chamber. It was a pretty average episode. A few of the matches failed to stand out, and the ones that did only did so because there wasn't much competition. I mean, the main event was the best match. Williams and Fenix had a decent one too. Had one of the titles changed hands, I think it would have been more newsworthy, but of course the women's titles were retained. But I think the lineup for Elimination Chamber is looking pretty decent at the moment. So overall not all bad.
So that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.